What's up guys, my name is Doug. Welcome to the channel. If you are new, welcome back. If you are not new, it is officially time for me to go back and listen to The Life of Pablo and review it for you guys. I did a series where I listened to Kanye's first 5 albums. I went back and re-listened to them so that you guys could get the reviews for it. I actually got my first reaction to Yeezus on camera. You can go and watch that. And now we are on The Life of Pablo, which will conclude our series on Kanye because I also have a video on Ye and I have a video on Kids See Ghosts and actually all those other drops that Good Music had over the summer. So to say the least, I am very excited to be making this video for you guys. Kanye is, in my opinion, one of the greatest artists of the 21st century, if not the greatest, in terms of production, in terms of music quality, in terms of impact and influence in other genres, and even in other areas of art, you know, fashion and design and things like that. He's just tremendous as an artist. As a person, it is really hard to understand his motivations and the things he says sometimes. I can understand that, and I don't even really know him well enough to love him as a person, but as an artist and for the influence that he has had in my life through his art, I absolutely do love him. I'm not going to waste any more of your time with this introduction. I would appreciate it if you would follow me on my social media. It's all on screen. And consider supporting this channel on Patreon so that I can continue to make these awesome videos full-time for you guys. The support on Patreon has been absolutely tremendous. I really appreciate all my patrons so much. You guys make this possible. And yeah, you guys have just been supporting the channel like crazy. It's humbling, it's motivating, and personally, I can't thank you all enough for being here and for supporting me this far. So, with all that being said, we're gonna get right into it. The first track is Ultralight Beam. It's one of my favorite Kanye tracks ever. Let's just get to it.
This is a God dream. This is a God dream.
Gotta love those drums, man.
To fight, so I look to the light, 'cause I know that you'll make everything alright. Foot on the devil's neck till it drifted Pangea. I'm moving on my family from Chatham to Zambia. Me with the ooh out the bam, trying to sell photos of family. My daughter look just like Sia, you can't see her.
The harmonica, bro. Yeah, man, in my mind, that might be one of Kanye's best intros. One of them. I'm not sure if it's the best. I've got to go back and like rethink. But it is definitely up there, dude. It's such a beautiful song. It's such an awesome way to start this project off, man. The whole vibe to it, the way that they made the synth sound, the way that the bass line was, the choir. I mean, Chance is awesome on it. I don't know who was the female singer, but she has an amazing voice. This song is just... it's great vibes, dude. It's such an awesome vibe, this track. Next song is Father Stretch My Hands Part 1. Gotta love this, man. And the sample switching up all the time on this track is insane. This bass line, bro. Get Cudi!
Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning, babe. I just wanna feel liberated.
It's so fire, bro. The keys, dude.
And she just bleached her asshole, and I get bleach on my t-shirt. I don't even wanna talk about it, I don't even wanna say nothing. And she,
that little lead is so funny.
Beautiful morning, you're the sun of my morning, babe.
Yo, using the beat for Panda.
Up in the morning, miss you back. All this cash, market crash, heard them bad. People get divorced for that.
I forgot how hard this song went, bro.
Legacy, family, legacy,
Yeah.
going on done, selling ball. Then on the mountain like running. Spreads out of the clever shit. I be putting myself in the kind of shit.
The second verse is insane. The samples, bro. Alright, so we have Father Stretch My Hands Part 1 and Part 2. What an experience, man. The production is just so insane. The sampling is insane. It's like, it's crazy and it's all over the place, and he switches up the samples so many times and plays around with vocalizing with the auto-tune, plays around with some gospel sounds. The keys sound great. Kid Cudi on this track. We had Designer really blowing up with Panda. I mean, it's two tracks that flow one right into the other. They go back to back on this project that just make you go absolutely crazy when you listen to it. The energy is just incredible whenever you listen to these tracks, man. And it's such feel-good music, man. The vibes on this project are just so awesome, and they make you feel so good. This project really is special, dude. And I'm just I hadn't listened to it in so long, and I had kind of like forgotten what an awesome experience it is to listen to these, man. And it's all coming back to me now. Next track is Famous. Let's get it. I love this track too.
Wanted you to know.
This beat is crazy. I will forever be upset though that the version with Chance was not included in the album because the choir arrangements that he had and his verse on this was just ridiculous.
That's why I made that bitch famous. Goddamn, I made that done. They mad, they still nameless.
The sample is crazy, dude.
She in school to be a real estate agent.
The sample's nuts. Such an awesome track, dude. The sampling is insane. The beat is great. If I'm not mistaken, I think Swizz made the beat. Just an awesome track. Rihanna does her thing. I love the breakdown at the end, and it's just music. Kanye has such an awesome habit of doing that and just giving us great music towards the end to just vibe to. I love the track. Next is Feedback. Not my favorite, but you know, because it took a while to get used to, but I think it's fire now. You know, it grew on me a lot, this track. First time I heard it, I skipped it. I was like, I hate this.
Wake up, nigga, wake up. We about to get this paper. Even if the money low can't pay me. Even if the money low can't play me. Pablo bought a rollie and a rock wilder. Seem like the more fame I only got wilder. I'm saying how I feel at the wrong time. Money come when you want, but I'm on time.
The bass line's nuts, dude.
Steve Jobs, Mr. Steve Austin. Rich slave in the fabric store picking cotton.
What?
You get a jet, you get a jet. Big booty me for you.
Not much to say about that. That's just Kanye being creative and insane and zany and wacky and funny. He was going off though, but the beat has this awesome Yeezus vibe to it. It's aggressive and distorted, and the bass line is insane. You know, it took a little bit to grow on me. I'm not gonna lie. It took a couple playthroughs, but I finally got to the point where I was like, all right, I see why this is fire now. That might still be the case with you. If you don't like this track, I suggest you go back and listen to it. You might like it. Next song is Lowlights.
I don't know what to tell you about him. I love him so much with all my heart and my...
One thing I love about this project is just the hugely, like, insane array of sounds, and just he picks and chooses from a bunch of different genres of music, and just like this is almost like walking through a museum of just a bunch of different styles and samples and different artists, and that's all, and he's like the curator for this museum. That's almost what listening to this album is like.
Every day of my life
I love that bass line with the keys.
Someday.
So nice. Yeah, it's like an interlude for or a transition is a better word for it, to the next track, which is Highlights. But yeah, it's just a woman talking about what God has done in her life and why she feels so good and happy, and just having that really nice piano with that really cool bass line in the background, setting the tone and leading us into the next track. I love the auto-tune, man. The 808s. The vibes, dude, are so great. Harmonizing in the background, so nice. The arrangements are so tight, they're so dope.
21 Grammys, superstar family, we the new Jackson, so I'm about that action. If you ever talk to my son like an idiot,
let's get it, dude. The distorted bass line. Such a fun track with great vibes, dude. It's not my favorite. I don't really go back to it a lot, but whenever it plays, I always get that, you know, that really nice feel-good feeling. Next track is Freestyle 4. It sounds so spooky and haunting, you know?
You on my free drinks, you on my that's why it's not. Can you bring your price down? Uzi with the what? But everybody's not for it, you want to live like happy.
This beat's so fire, bro. I don't care what he's saying. Really short track. I treat it almost like an interlude. I think it's funny and wacky. His lyrics are pretty nuts, you know, but the beat is just so sick, man. And I honestly, I might prefer Tyler the Creator's version, but I mean, it's tough for me to decide. I like both versions, you know, but the beat's really the highlight for me, you know. It's so interesting and different and spooky, and that really high-pitched sound, it sounds like a violin, you know, but it sounds so sad and scary and creepy, and the drums are just insane. It's just a really fun track to listen to. Next track is I Love Kanye.
I miss the old Kanye, straight from the gold Kanye, chop up the soul Kanye. See, I invented Kanye. It wasn't any Kanye.
Yeah.
And now I look and look.
Thought I was Kanye.
Kanye loves Kanye.
Yeah. Not much to say about that interlude. I always let it play all the way through because I just personally find it really funny, and it is a really Kanye thing to do, to acknowledge the meme that he loves himself more than anything else. Personally, I don't think there is any moment in time where I think Kanye was like, I miss this Kanye, or I miss this style of Kanye. I just think that he was always evolving and always inventing new sounds and trying to go different directions with his music, and so I love every single phase of his artistry, you know. I do think My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was him at his best, but it's not like I wish he would go back to that. I want him to always be innovating because that's what he's awesome at. So yeah, I just think that that's a really funny track. Nexus Waves. The vibes are so great, man. I get such awesome vibes from this, dude.
Bird can't fly, even when somebody go away.
So great, man. I get memories of summer with this.
Waves don't die.
Kid Cudi humming. That might be one of the best parts of this project, is Kid Cudi humming on that. Just such a wavy track, pun intended. The vibe is great, it's tremendous. Having Kid Cudi on there humming during that instrumental portion is just mind-blowingly good, dude. Chris Brown does his thing. I mean, he's just tremendously talented as well. Summer vibes, feel-good music. I mean, it's awesome. I love it. Kind of upset that Chance also didn't make it on there. You know, the choir arrangements that he had on this were pretty sick. But it is what it is. The song still sounds great, dude. Next track is FML. That's so fire.
I'm the only one that's in control. I've been give up the women. They wish I would go ahead and fuck my life up. Let's fuck my life up.
He's awesome.
Only I can crazy in this nigga when he off his Lexus Pro. Remember
the
that
beat, man.
Test me how, and we finna lose all
the drums, man.
You ain't finna be raising your voice at me.
The vocals.
Can't let them get to me.
That switch up at the end is just so crazy. It's like making pain, the emotion, into a sound. That's what it sounds like to me. It sounds like hurt. It sounds like someone is hurting. It's an insane part of the track, dude. But the beginning part, you know, the introduction where it's just the synth or the keys or whatever they use to make that sound, and Kanye kind of singing, it sounds great. And then Abel comes in and kills it, and the beat drops, and it's awesome, and it's an awesome vibe, and then that switch up is just tremendous. It really is an interesting track, dude, and it's at a point in the album where the album starts to like grow and grow and grow in energy, and this is like kind of slowing down a little bit, you know. It's a nice change of pace at this point in the album. Next track is Real Friends.
How many of us? How many of us?
Yeah.
Have a number. I can't be bothered. I cannot blame you. Rewind, now my tux is ruined and time for a day. What the fuck? Shit, I thought it was Thursday. Why you wait a week to call my phone in the first place? Yeah. Couldn't tell you much about the fam, dog. This back to business. You wanna ask a question about some real shit? Money turning kid into an enemy. Niggas ain't real. How many real friends? Just to ask.
Awesome track again. After that change of pace with FML, you know, the tracks start to slow down a little bit. We got a Ty Dolla feature on this, who, by the way, he kills this track. And Kanye's talking about how he is not the greatest friend because he's, you know, too busy, and when was the last time he remembered someone's birthday. And he also talks about the people around him who aren't the best friends themselves, who aren't willing to take a call at 3 a.m., who don't call just to see how he's doing. And he's basically talking about like how many of us are a real friend and have real friends around us, and the importance of having close people, you know. I think that the track is beautifully produced. You know, it's got a really nice vibe to it. It's great actually for you to put on in the background and just zone out. It takes you somewhere else, man. It's really, you know, it might be the reverb. Everything just feels like there's just so much space. You know, it just feels like there's so much space, and it's really relaxing to listen to. It's an awesome track. I love it. Nexus Wolves. I love this sample or this loop, whatever it is. It's so haunting. I really love it.
Love you, mama.
The music is so interesting to listen to, you know?
So high, you waste my mouth, you're much too good to
You found me, they were hard, didn't know me. I'm Caesar, you found me, and
I need you now. That's the T, no shit. Don't trip. That pussy slipped a sandwich. I said, baby, what if you was clubbing, thugging the fucking wolves? What if Mary was in the club?
The music to this is just so haunting and brilliant, really, for zoning out and losing yourself in your thoughts, dude. I love the Sia feature. I love the mood to this track. We've really hit a point in the album where things have slowed down, and Kanye is brilliant at curating all these different sounds, and this really sounds like something as well off of Yeezus. It's got that kind of vibe to it, and you can really see like all the influences from all his previous projects on here. It's really interesting to hear, man. Next is Frank's track.
Fleshed out, there's light with no heat. We found out.
Yeah, man, it's the interlude where Frank Ocean basically sings the same melody from Wolves. You know, his voice is great. I like that the quality of the recording. You know, you can hear a lot of the like the background noise. You know, you can hear the sound bouncing off of the walls. It doesn't sound like he recorded it in a really isolated space. It sounds like there's a lot of natural reverb. That's what I'm looking for in the recording. You know, like they recorded this backstage or something like that. It doesn't sound like it was recorded in studio, and that adds a really nice element to it, I guess. The fact that it doesn't sound all professional. It literally just sounds like he went anywhere with just a microphone and just played this and recorded it and sent it in. It sounds spontaneous is the word that I'm looking for to describe this, and authentic and intentional, you know? So it's a cool continuation of that Wolves track, as well as a nice interlude that leads into the next track, which is Silver Surfer Intermission.
Yeezy, what's good? It's your boy Max B, what's going on? It's doing your way and keep it loopy.
Yeah, man, just another interlude voicemail that was left to him. Not much to say. Next track is 30 Hours.
But it's blurry enough to get the fake out. I wake up off, yeah. You wasn't mine though, but I still drove. I remember rapping for Jay and Cam. Clothes off.
Hey.
Expedition was $80 edition. I'm driving with I know. Got a hotel room, 3 stars for you. Get my eyes on this shit. Hey.
That's not really one of the songs that I come back to. I'm not a huge fan of it. I do feel like it's a little long, but it's understandable, I guess, because there's got that little rant towards the end that you can skip, I guess, if you're listening to it. But there's nothing too special to me about the beat, about the bass line or anything like that. You know, it's kind of like there's nothing to me that makes this a bad track. It's not bad. But there's nothing that stands out to me and makes me want to come back and listen to it again, you know? This is normally a track that I skip on most playthroughs. No More Parties in LA, though.
Please, baby, no more parties in LA.
This beat, that's what I'm talking about. The sampling is nuts, but Kendrick is crazy, dude.
Middle finger pedestrians do one thing. That pussy should only be holding exclusive rights to me. I mean, fuck, she say she came out here to find an alias rapper. I said, baby, spin around and say, down. The hair's still good, down. Baby, say, let me on. I was uninspired since Lauren here retired. And 3 stacks, man, you preach days. I'm in my EG, some days I'm in my bands. If I knew y'all made plans,
I wouldn't have big money.
Yeah, the sampling on this track is really insane. I mean, just it's jam-packed full of samples, and the beat cuts out at a bunch of different points to bring in new samples, and it's just the sound on this is insane. You know, the sounds that we get on this are crazy. But Kendrick, man, oh my god, dude. Kanye does his thing on this track too. I do feel like it goes on for a little long, but just hearing Kendrick on this beat is just, it feels like Good Kid, Mad City, you know? And the bass line of this track is nuts. I love it. Facts.
A lot of shit, but I just did the numbers. First I can't beat it, but now I'm for the family, tell them get your money. 2020, I'ma run the whole election. I've been tripping, he treat employees just like slaves. I give him great coupon on a DJ mustard. If you ain't
yo, this switch up is nuts, man.
Did he forget the names just like Steve Harvey? He running up the budget. Keep the bird at my baby mom.
Yeah, that beat is just ridiculously hard, dude. And it's basically just Kanye flexing for the entire track. And it's pretty amazing, I'm not gonna lie. Last two tracks, dude. Fade and St. Pablo.
Your love is fake. Rock the boat, work the middle till I hurt a little. I feel it. Fuck, can you feel that nigga? No, it ain't around. I feel it, fade.
This breakdown is insane. Really, this track doesn't have a lot of lyrical substance to me. It's just a vibe track, you know, you just put it on to dance to and to have fun to. And it gets the job done, so no complaints. I think the sampling is great. Love the breakdown at the end. We're gonna head on to the last track now, which is St. Pablo.
Said I still didn't say no. People trying to say I'm going crazy on control. I just feel like I'm the only one not pretending. I'm 1,000 years from now in real life. Skate on the paradigm and shit for it took 100 million and gave 20 to hold. I heard it's the way to get so
yeah, man, an awesome track to end this off on. One of the longer tracks on the project. Kanye goes off, you know, he gets in his bag for this one, for the lyrics. The beat is pretty simple, you know, it's got a dope sample, but it's not the focus of this track. And you know, in a lot of Kanye songs, that's not always the case. You know, a lot of times the production is one of the highlights of the track, but in this one, it's what he's saying that matters most, and he says a lot of real stuff on this, and plus that Sampha feature was great. So let's talk about this project now. The Life of Pablo by Kanye West is probably one of his more diverse projects. You know, like I mentioned earlier on in the video, it's almost like walking through a museum, a music museum with a bunch of different genres and artists and styles and samples, and Kanye is the curator. He put together this giant mashup of a bunch of different sounds and somehow found a way to make it work. You know, it's one of his zanier projects in terms of lyrics and the fact that it sounds so all over the place and so hectic and so crazy, but at the same time, we've still got so many awesome songs on here and such an awesome track list. You know, so many bangers along with songs that'll make you think and reflect. And in true Kanye fashion, we get great music on this project. Even the skippable tracks, in my opinion, the tracks that are skippable aren't bad. They're just not very interesting for a Kanye song, you know? I personally really enjoy this album. It was really awesome to see, to listen to this for the first time when it first came out, and to hear Ultralight Beam for the first time, and to hear Waves for the first time, and to hear, you know, all those tracks. I remember, you know, when I listen to it now, I remember just that time period in my life, and the summer that that I lived with my brothers, and we just had this album on repeat. And listening to those songs just makes me so nostalgic. I think it's a great project by Kanye West. It's a lot of people's favorite, actually, and I don't blame them for it. I think it's tremendous. It's tough to rank Kanye's projects. This one, I would say, is top 5, for sure. With that being said, thank you all so much for being here and for watching the video. I do appreciate you all so much for the support so far. If you'd like to support the channel, you can subscribe, you can smash the like button, you can share the video with somebody you think might enjoy it, you can follow me on my social media, and the best way for you to support this channel alongside subscribing would be to support the channel on Patreon. It's the reason that I'm able to keep doing this full time for you guys. You get access to the Discord server and a bunch of other perks. It's all on the page. The link is in the top right hand corner, in the description of the video, and on the end screen if you would like to check that out. I appreciate you all so much for being here. I'll be back in another video very soon. Until then, peace.